Hi, we are Sophia, Antonella, Ashmita, and Rebecca, and this is our video presentation on hurricanes in general, along with a timeline of these severe cyclones and how to be prepared for them.
A hurricane starts off as a tropical depression with wind speeds of 39 miles per hour, usually forming near the equator and waters with a temperature of 80 degrees Fahrenheit. It is still not a very organized system in its early stages, but as it keeps a low pressure center, its air circulation picks up speed, it is able to become a tropical storm, with wind speeds from 39 miles per hour to 74 miles per hour. Antonella, which is where heaviest rainfall and winds are found, and has a width of 20 to 40 miles in diameter. It is officially considered a hurricane with its wind speeds are 75 miles per hour or higher. A typical hurricane can release about 2.4 trillion gallons of water and can last 12 to 24 hours. Hurricanes take the lives of both people and animals, as they can also destroy many buildings. However, it can also have good effects on our ecosystem, as it can remove waste, boost our wetlands, and flush out lagoons.
The Eastern Pacific hurricane season starts June 1st and lasts until November 30th, with its peak landing on September 10th. Hurricanes have 5 categories, each distinguished by their wind speeds. A hurricane is considered a Category 1 when winds reach 74 to 95 miles per hour, a Category 2 with winds at 96 to 110 miles per hour, a Category 3 with winds at 111 to 129 miles per hour, a Category 4 with winds at 130 to 156 miles per hour, and finally a Category 5 with winds at 157 miles per hour or higher. There can be signs in the environment indicating an impending hurricane. One sign is that about 3 days before a hurricane hits, ocean swell can increase up to 6 feet in height, and the waves start hitting the shore every 9 seconds. Another is heavy rain that pours about 18 hours before a hurricane and increasingly gets more severe until the cyclone hits land. Storm surges are one of the most devastating elements of a hurricane. As hurricane winds spiral, they push water into a mound at the storm center. This mound of water becomes dangerous when the storm reaches land because it causes flooding, hence the storm surge.
Here we have a timeline of some of the most popular hurricanes we know. It ranges from some of the most historical hurricanes to the ones that have affected us recently. First, in 1900, we have the Great Galveston Hurricane, which was the deadliest weather disaster in U.S. history. It killed about 8,000 people and had a 15-foot storm surge, and it cost about $516 million in repairs. In 1992, we have Hurricane Andrew, which was a Category 5. It struck the Bahamas, Florida, and Louisiana, and resulted in about $26.5 billion in damage. In 2005, we had Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Wilma, which were both Category 5s. Katrina killed about 1,833 people and devastated New Orleans. Wilma killed 87 people and had the most destructive effects in Mexico, Cuba, and Florida. In 2012, we have Hurricane Sandy. It was a Category 3, and the most severe damage occurred in New Jersey and New York, and it cost about $70 million and resulted in 285 fatalities. In 2017, we have Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma. Hurricane Harvey was a Category 4 and resulted in 107 fatalities. It hit Louisiana and eastern Texas. Hurricane Irma was a Category 5. It had 134 fatalities and hit Florida and the Caribbean, and most of the damage was felt in the Florida Keys. In 2017, we also had Hurricane Maria, which was a Category 5. It devastated the entirety of Puerto Rico and was the strongest storm to impact the island in 90 years. In 2019, we have Hurricane Dorian. It was a Category 5. It was the most intense tropical cyclone on record to strike the Bahamas, and it had about 84 fatalities and $3.4 billion in damage. Lastly, we have Hurricane Ida from 2021. It was a Category 4 and hit the states from the Gulf Coast to the northeast, including Louisiana, Pennsylvania, and New York, and resulted in 97 fatalities.
The Coriolis force is a result of Earth's rotation, which causes hurricanes to rotate right in the northern hemisphere and to rotate left in the southern hemisphere. As of right now, the World Meteorological Organization uses different sets of names depending on the part of the world the storm is located. Around the US, there's 6 different names lists that alternate each year. If a hurricane causes significant damage, the name is retired. The names are alphabetically ordered. However, the letters Q, U, X, Y, and Z are not used for the first letter when naming hurricanes. Tracking of the hurricane is done by hurricane hunters. Those are people who fly into the hurricanes to collect data by measuring its temperature, air pressure, wind direction, and speed. They fly P-3 planes and go on missions that can last for about 10 hours. To prepare for a hurricane, it is good to have emergency foods, such as canned food, water, install shutters or have hurricane-proof windows, sandbags in case of flooding, store important documents in waterproof containers, have extra flashlights and batteries in hand.
Thank you all so much for watching. We hope that you enjoyed our presentation and have taken away some knowledge on hurricanes, which may help you to prepare for them in the future.